All right, in this video, we're going to take a look at how religion, which is supposed to push us up into the areas of love and altruism, can in fact lead to self-destruction and hatred. Now again, because religion is a system of information, that system of information may contain imperfect information, which can lead to the, quote, evils of religion, again, self-destruction and hatred. So we're going to take a look at how religion can fall down into these areas. To do so, we're going to take a look at Maslow's mystical core of religion. Now, Abraham Maslow was a famous psychologist who is better known for his hierarchy of needs, but he also did a lot of work with peak states, experiences, and religion. And this particular illustration comes from a book by John Rector called The Objectification Spectrum. And so he put this kind of illustration together. We're going to customize it a little bit to fit what we want out of it. So Maslow starts with the heart of religion. And again, this is the pure believers up there in that top right quadrant who are kind of coming up with new answers to those questions by kind of mixing some strategies, some religious strategies, and trying to filter all of their beliefs, all of their actions through those strategies. And so from these religious founders, right, comes this heart of religion. Again, the goal is to push us up into the area of love and altruism, to make us engage in an irrational act, right, to overcome selfishness and evil. And so here we have truth, goodness, and beauty, which is at the heart of religion. The heart of these religious founders are going to try to communicate truth, goodness, and beauty. However, when they do so, it's got to be filtered through those followers. So those followers have to filter through what those founders are trying to say. And therefore, they have to engage the intellect. And as they try to interpret it from their own intellect, that's once removed from the founders' understanding of the religion, and therefore we lose a little bit of information from the founder. The same also happens with the believer's will when they engage that will and commit to that will, as well as how they feel or how they experience is a second-hand type of experience as opposed to the religious founder. Still strong, right, because those are those first-generation believers. But again, as time passes, right, we continue to pass this information on. And as we pass this information on, it begins to turn into doctrine. We have to write this stuff down. We have to come up with ways in which we're going to communicate this in a systematic way so everyone's understanding the same information from that religion. So here we're kind of going down into the bottom right quadrant, the pious believers or the conservative believers, where the theologians and the clergy are, those people who are trying to understand that, formalize that from in terms of doctrine, to get that value power working. The same is true in terms of ethics. What is good, what is right, what is the right way to go, what is the correct path to take, that agenda power, trying to establish that agenda power, as well as ritual. And here we're trying to look at that event power. How do we reproduce that heart of religion? And so as we move across, right, and we're filtering this over time, eventually this becomes an established religion as these theologians, as these practitioners, as these gurus come up with formalized ways, right, of this religion to try to capture that heart of religion. Again, their purpose is to push us actually back toward that heart of religion, to push us toward back into truth, goodness, and beauty, to have us engage in those acts of love and altruism. So that's how religion's supposed to work. However, right, because it's a system of information, religion can fail to achieve that cycle. And this doctrine and ethics and rituals, or this a value, agenda, and event power, can turn into self-destruction and hatred. We'll take a look at how that works. So from the doctrine point, right, we can move into dogmatism. And here we're looking at beliefs as fact. We're not really trying to engage our critical thinking when we encounter information in the religion. We just take what is written as fact. We don't use our ability to say, is this true? Why is it true? How is it true? We just state and take what is given to us from the religious power, either from ourselves or from a medium or from scripture, right, or from a ritual. We're taking these as fact. without really questioning it. The same is also true for legalism, right? We're just conforming to an authority system. We're just trying to conform to it without questioning, without using our critical thinking. We're just saying, this is how I'm supposed to behave because I've been told this is the way to behave. Same is true with ritualism. We're going through the motions. We're not really trying to reconnect with the purpose of the ritual, and we're just going through the form of the ritual and not engaging in the substance of the ritual. Here we kind of look at ceremonies as opposed to transformative rituals. And so we can see religion starting to fade, starting to lose its way to reconnect us to the heart of religion. And it continues to do so, right? That dogmatism becomes closed-mindedness, right? So we have a closed mind. And remember here, evil was the result of ignorance. So here we can see, right, we're not ignorant, but we're closed-minded. We have a closed mind, and therefore we're restricting ourselves from information. And this is going to lead to that self-destruction and hatred as our minds become closed, not open and seeking. We can also take a look at how legalism continues to dissolve, in which the ends justify the means. So here I'm not trying to understand why I'm engaging in an act. I'm trying to simply accomplish an end, and whichever way I accomplish that end becomes justified. So here we can think about a person who believes that abortion is legalized murder. And so this person convinces him or herself that the way to stop this is to go and murder an abortion doctor. So here, right, we're trying to solve murder by murder, right? We're trying to justify, hey, listen, it's okay to kill an abortion doctor because I'm saving the unborn. So here, right, we're really losing kind of our connection with the heart of religion, and it's turning us into hatred. So looking at ritualism can move and dissolve into extremism. So extremism, right, is me trying to enforce, possibly by physical coercion, using a type of power to exert my will or my belief in the way to act over another individual. But it also can turn internal as well. But here, right, we're enforcing the way of behavior. We're enforcing the society that we want because our religion tells us what is true. Again, I'm not thinking about the reasons why I'm acting the way. I'm just enforcing a way of acting upon other people, or enforcing a way of acting upon myself, and taking it further and further into the extreme. And so we can see here how closed-mindedness, or having a closed mind, the ends justifying the means, as well as extremism, right, can lead to the other extreme, which is the religion without heart. So now we're just engaging in acts of self-destruction and hatred. So let's kind of dissect that a little bit here. If these destructive behaviors turn internal to the believer, that believer can experience self-destruction. And we'll take a look at how each religion can lead to self-destruction by having those forces, those types of power, the value, agenda, and event power, turn negative and then turn internal, causing self-destruction. Those values could also turn external or be other-oriented or other-motivated, and that would lead to hatred, in which I am purposely trying to cause harm on another individual while also harming myself. And so we can see how those powers can lead to hatred. And so here we can see, right, using this Maslow's mystical core of religion with the help of John Rector, adding our own kind of flavor to this as well, is looking at how religions can fall into, because of imperfect information, acts of self-destruction and hatred. Next, we're going to take a look at formalizing what we want out of religion through building the prisoner's dilemma of exchange, and that will occur in the next video.